Trinity Cafe has joined us once again, celebrating an impressive milestone, serving over 1.4 million meals to Tampa's hungry and homeless. More than a three-course chef-prepared meal. Guests at both cafe locations are served with compassion, dignity, and respect. Our friends from Trinity Cafe, they're up next on Bayside. Good morning and welcome to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. Just like I told you before, we're talking all about Trinity Cafe here in the Bay Area doing big things. 1.4 million meals. Wrap your brain around that for just a second. Holy smokes. Yeah. Of course, we can't do that without talking to our good friend, Mandy Cloninger, and you've brought nice Byron Graves with you today. You are the director of First Impressions, Trinity Cafe, right? So welcome to the show. Welcome back, I should say, Mandy.
Well, thank you so much for having us again, Shelly.
It's always so nice to have you here and enlighten our viewers, those that haven't heard about you, and I'm sure those that have or maybe have seen you on the show or love to hear from you, and just the incredible things that go on over there. I know I mentioned it in the open, talking about the number, just that number alone is mind-blowing, that many meals prepared by a chef. But more importantly, I love how it's more than just the meal. It's how you say it. They're served with compassion, dignity, and respect. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Perhaps there is someone out there that doesn't know what we're talking about.
Right. Our mission is all about restoring dignity to our guests, and we do that by having a volunteer maitre d' greet our guests at the door, and then they're seated at these beautiful tables covered with a tablecloth, set with china, and we serve that delicious three-course meal. And it's a meal that you'd be proud to eat in your own home, served to your friends. But more important than that, we build an intentional community right around a dining room table. It's just like you do when you have folks come and eat with you at home. We get to know folks. We introduce ourselves by name. We learn about them. We offer an encouraging word, a listening ear. And for some of our guests, it might be the only conversation they have that day, the only person who's checking in with them, offering them a smile and a little bit of respect and dignity and compassion. And one of the most beautiful things is we get to know folks. We got to know Byron over a period of time, and he's come to join our team as a staff member. But think about that. 1.4 million guests have walked through our doors and gotten a delicious meal, but it's more than the meal. We often say it's 51% dignity and 49% the nutritious meal.
Sure. I mean, and isn't that where the saying break bread with someone? I mean, I can't think of a better way to break bread with than to break bread with someone. You know, you want to serve, have a bite to eat. It makes you relaxed. It get to know someone. So, Byron, talk to me about that. I know Mandy mentioned it, and that's how she came to meet you. And now here you are. You're the director of First Impressions.
First Impression.
So talk to me about your experience, how you came to be involved with Trinity.
Well, two things stands out: hunger and hungry. Hungry and homeless. I was both of them, and I was sitting at a park where I was sleeping at. And one day, one guy came by, was talking about going to get something to eat. And so eventually I said, well, let's go. And I went up there, and when I went in, it was more than just a meal. I went in, the people make you feel so much at home. And the way the setting was and the volunteers, oh my God, the volunteers just reached out so much and everything. And it made me feel so guilty. And I was like, I got to do something. You know, I was homeless, and I said, well, you know, what I really want to do is it something I can do. And so I began to ask them, can I sweep the floor to do anything? Because the meal that they set before is outrageous. It is nutritious, it's great, and healthy, and they gave me a new chance when they did that. And so I asked them, and I worked with them for like 3 months. you know, volunteering, and then they put me on staff, and the rest is history.
Oh, and look at that smile.
Yes.
You can, I mean, it's infectious just to hear just It's almost a joyous gratitude, which is much stronger and happy, more fulfilled, it sounds like, or at least from just witnessing it here. I hope you at home can sense that. I'm sure you can. So from the day before you walked into Trinity Cafe, and then just your life changed the moment that you walked in.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes, it was. It really was. The day before, I was just sitting there thinking about, well, I went the whole day without even eating. The day before, when I did last eat, it was a little snack cake, a 50-cent cake, and I had a glass of water, and I pinched off from it, and I got to the very end of it, and I was just sitting there and just thinking, what can I do next? What can I do next? And help was right around the corner.
And talk to me about, okay, just the circumstances of being hungry hurts my heart, and I'm sure that I'm speaking for our viewers as well. No one should go hungry, Mandy, as you well know. Talk to me, though, from a standpoint of where you were as a human being, people that would pass by you. How do people talk to you there? And then you walked into Trinity Cafe, and what you were greeted with, much more than just fulfilling the need of nutritional needs and hunger, feeding you. Talk to me about, did you feel more of like a person? Did people look at you differently? And what happened to you there?
Oh my goodness. Yes, well, first of all, the first question, when you was talking about how do you feel as a person and a human being, a lot of times people get confused when they say hungry and homeless and everything, but people, we are human beings. And that was the part that I wanted to, you know, when I came there, they didn't look at you as you was homeless or this. They sit you down and everything, and somebody else is sitting at the table. A host is talking with you and making you feel right at home and everything. Like they looking down on you like, get away from me. They open arms with you. And when they open me in and everything, I'm like, wow. And so when that meal, it made me start thinking better. You can't think when you're homeless. When you're hungry, you go through days and nights and everything. You can't think properly. But as soon as I got that one meal, immediately, I began to start thinking better. So I think Trinity.
That's a beautiful story. Mandy, how does that make you feel? And is this sort of a general feeling or the feedback that you're getting?
Absolutely, Shelley. We know that nearly 1 in 6 of our neighbors is hungry in this community, and nearly 2,000 are homeless. And those are statistics that, frankly, become brought to life when we get to know someone like Byron over a meal at Trinity Cafe.
With the number.
Right. It's not just a statistic.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
These are our neighbors. They become our friends through service, and we get to know them. You know, for Byron, he enjoyed a delicious meal with us, but because he experienced this beautiful community, this dignity and this respect, what did he want to do first? He wanted to give back himself. He wanted to come right alongside us and volunteer because he recognized that there was a culture of dignity and respect and compassion there. And then we got to know his gifts. Now he's an integral part of our team at our second location, and he's the first person who greets our guests as well as our volunteers when they come to dine and serve with us.
Wow. So you get to interact with other individuals that are maybe or even experiencing the first time in Trinity Cafe as well. What is it like to see and to witness that from this perspective, that as the director of First Impressions?
Well, actually, it's easy. It's a mirror. When I see them, I see myself all over again. And that's what I move so much with compassion and feelings and towards them, because I see them. And you can, if you ever went through any kind of experience like that, and when you see something like that, you have more compassion.
Absolutely.
And that's what made me move the way I do and everything. And First Impression goes so far, so deeply. My job in ministry, when I go, I want to make sure they good before they go inside with the volunteers. So I go out and break the ice with them, hug them, shake their hand and talk with them. And, you know, if they come in angry or whatsoever, you know, I'm a diffuser. I would diffuse everything and then put a smile on their faces and make it much more easier when they do get inside and everything. So we all work together.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to all that love and dignity and respect, and I say love intentionally, you don't run on that alone. You do need volunteers and financial donations. And that brings us to your event coming up, Stick a Fork in Hunger. I know you're going to want to know all about it and then some. How can you get involved? You're looking at the website right there, trinitycafe.org. That's where you're going to go for more info, including info on the Stick the Stick a Fork in Hunger, their upcoming event, A Second Helping. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back after these messages. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelley Sanders. I've been speaking with Byron Graves and Mandy Cloninger all about Trinity Cafe, the amazing things that they are doing here in the Bay Area. They're feeding people, but more importantly, or just as important, I should say, is that they are actually treating people like people. Yes. They've got compassion, dignity, and respect for others. And at the end of the day, that's what humans are supposed to do. Am I right? So let's talk about how you operate. I mean, you run heavily on volunteers, on donations. Talk to me about things like needing volunteers, what our viewers can do, how they can help, and do you have a wish list? Just tell me what you need, girlfriend.
Absolutely. I like to encourage people to give, G-I-V-E. Every single donation that's given to Trinity Cafe, we use about $2.50 to serve a delicious meal with dignity. And financial gifts are always needed. So we encourage you, if you want to make a gift and you can, give. It's going to go so far. Every single day we serve about 500 meals with dignity.
A day?
A day.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes, and you can give right on our website at trinitycafe.org. You can invite someone to visit the cafe and to volunteer with us. We use 32 volunteers each and every day at the cafe, whether they're a server or a host who's sitting there at the table, building conversation and community. We love our volunteers. That's how Byron got started with us. It's how many of our friends come to learn about us. And once you volunteer, we rarely have a one and done volunteer. Folks fall in love with the experience and they come back again and again and they spread the word with us. And that's the last thing you can do for giving. Engage with us. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, every social media you can think about, and you can learn about us, you can share what we're doing with others, and really just spread the word that Trinity Cafe is a wonderful resource with 2 locations. We're hopeful we'll be over here in Pinellas County with our 3rd location soon.
Oh,
yeah.
Fingers crossed. Wow.
And so that's, from our perspective, our greatest needs are always financial donations as well as volunteers. Very simple ways to give and serve and get involved.
Sure. $2.50, that will provide a meal. So if you think like, gosh, I don't have much, $5 gives 2 meals to those that desperately need it. Wow,
Absolutely.
That's incredible. 500 meals a day. And with a 3rd location, I got to think that your numbers will definitely go up.
They will.
So, okay, one of the things that strikes me with volunteering is that you guys make it so easy. On your website, you have little tabs that, hey, look and see when you can come in and volunteer, and you just put your name down. Is that how it works?
It is literally that easy, Shelley.
You're looking at the
Visit our
website
website,
right there.
trinitycafe.org. Click on the volunteer tab. You can pick our Nebraska location or our Bush Boulevard location. Look at the calendar. It'll tell you whether or not we need you. If the date's in red, we need you. Get signed up. Pick that date, book it on your calendar, and just scroll to the bottom of the page and type in your name, your email, select the date. It's that easy.
It's that easy. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any easier than that.
And we serve lunch Monday through Friday and breakfast on the weekends at our Nebraska location and breakfast on Saturday at our Bush Boulevard location. It takes about 2 hours to volunteer. And
So
I guarantee it'll be the best 2 hours of your day.
Fantastic. So Bush Boulevard or Nebraska Avenue, 2 different locations. And so exciting things are happening with this event coming up.
It is. We are offering a second helping of our Stick a Fork in Hunger event, and it's where we transform the cafe. We'll serve lunch just like we do every single day, but at night it will be a transformation into a very beautiful themed event and a culinary experience that, frankly, will blow you away.
Wow. Okay, so walk me through it. I know this is only the 2nd time you've done it, but walk me through what happened last year and how, I mean, were you just blown away and you couldn't, to see it come into fruition?
It is. It's amazing that we can transform the cafe like we have. So our Thursday night, which is going to be November 15th, We will have a wicked evening. It's going to be in the Garden of Good and Delicious. So you can imagine how that's going to be themed. So you'll walk into a garden of good and delicious. Chef Ben takes over the menu and he'll serve an amazing feast. And every dollar that we raise through sponsorships and guests coming to the cafe will help us serve delicious meals with dignity all throughout the year.
Fantastic.
Friday night, we're bringing back beer, bourbon, and barbecue. So Fantastic Beasts will be on the menu. And it will be a beautiful theme and a plate overflowing with finger licking goodness.
Now, is this in both the cafes?
No, it's just at our Nebraska location.
Nebraska
we turn it
location.
over every day at lunch. And then at night, we'll have this culinary experience. And then Saturday night is going to be a speakeasy. It's going to be a European tour of culinary delights. So 3 different themed nights of food and an experience. And once you join us, you'll be entertained. Our chef takes over. He shows you all sorts of different tips and tricks. We have a wonderful MC each night. But again, it's a culinary experience that you'll just enjoy and love.
All right. So you're wanting those dates again. I can just hear you all the way here in the studio. It's November 15th through the 17th, and you heard Mandy. There's 3 different themes. Log on to their website. You'll get all the information there, including how you can get involved, how you can come out for these events. It'd be a great way to come out and see what the cafe is all about if you've never been or don't really know whether you want to get involved and volunteer. That'd be a great way to experience it. TrinityCafe.org, that's the website. Go there now. We're taking a short break. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We're talking all about the Trinity Cafe. We've got Mandy Cloninger here, and of course, Byron Graves. He is the director of First Impressions. And so, gosh, there's so much to talk about, really and truly. You need to come back again next week and the week after and talk about it some more. I love, love, love what you guys are doing. Now, we've just wrapped up summer, getting ready for school year, lots of things going on. That said, let's talk about kids.
Yeah.
What are you doing with kids?
Sure. Well, we know that 1 in 4 children in our community is hungry. So when they go home, they might not have enough food in their refrigerator to last. And this really came to light when Byron shared with us a particular story. He ran into a couple of our guests. Yes. Would you want to tell, Shelley?
Yes, I was in a local restaurant, the Burger King, and as I was eating my food and everything, I didn't eat the pickles and lettuce. As quick as I was pulling it off, the kids was grabbing it and putting it in their mouth. And I could not enjoy it because they were just grabbing it. So I went up personally, went in my pocket and got them a couple 10-piece nuggets and everything. And then I came back and told the director, I said, well, we got to do more. It's more we got to do. And so the kids, they are first priority.
Yeah,
sure.
And so during the school year, often our table becomes the family table. And so folks who are out of school, you know, they don't have access to the free or reduced breakfast that more than 50% of the kids in our community have access to. And so they'll dine with us for lunch, but then they may go home and they might not eat again till the next day. And so through a partnership with the Triad Foundation and our partners at Feeding Tampa Bay, we're able to send every single kid who dines with us home with some shelf-stable food. So there's cereal and milk, there's some extra snacks. And when kids are hungry, we want to be there for them. That's part of our vision, that no child, no man or woman in our community goes hungry. And we're thankful for this partnership. We're thankful we're able to do a little bit more for kids.
Absolutely.
When they dine with us and their families.
Just the whole thought of being hungry, it can completely affect every other aspect of your life. I know for me personally, it does. So I can't imagine this happening on a regular basis. And how do you expect a child to do well in school when they're hungry? So talk to me really quickly, we don't have much time, about a wish list. Do you need items like this?
Well, actually, we have a chef's wish list on our website that you can take a look at. We always can utilize cereal, which we use for breakfast on the weekends, cleaning supplies, things of that nature. But we're able to purchase these at the lowest price through our partnership with Feeding Tampa Bay, our local food bank.
Sure. So there is a chef's wish list. You heard Mandy, chef's wish list on trinitycafe.org. That's the website. It's going to give you all the information that we've talked about today and then some. And of course, we'll have a link for you on our website, cw44.com as well. So I've got a great idea. You go check it out. You volunteer on the certain days that they need you. And in the meantime, we'll take our break and we can come back and wrap up this week's show. As always, I want to thank you at home for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, Mandy, thank you for being here. Byron, I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule as well and enlightening our community on what you're doing here. Keep it up. And I encourage you week after week, and I'm going to do it again today, get out, get involved in your community, volunteer. Check out this event coming up, Stick a Fork in Hunger, 14th through the 15th. That's November 15th through the 17th. I'm going to get it right. November 15th through the 17th. TrinityCafe.org. We'll have a link for you on ours as well. CW44.com. Get out, get involved. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week.